Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Greg, and today we're gonna talk about a very important survival tool, and that's the lighter. I always advise my family to carry a big lighter as part of their EDC. Okay, so a big lighter, obviously, it creates a spark and a flame, and that can be used to start a fire, maybe in the outdoors if you're camping, or if you find yourself in a disaster situation. That fire is useful to create heat, light, and can be used for cooking. In a survival situation, a fire is one of the most difficult things to produce. Okay, we always see the YouTube videos or videos online of people rubbing sticks together and creating flames and turn it into a fire and cook their meals, maybe from animals that they hunted in the jungle. Okay, but in reality, creating a fire from rubbing sticks or maybe using a bow drill, okay, is really difficult. And if you're in an emergency situation, you might be injured, you're tired, or you're wet. It makes the task of creating a fire even more difficult. So as a prepper or as an outdoorsman, we always carry a big lighter with us. Okay, I said big lighter because I usually carry a big lighter, but you can use any brand of disposable lighter that is available to you. Here, it's very common to find big lighters in almost all of the convenience stores. Okay, I advise carrying a disposable lighter rather than those refillable, maybe lighters that use lighter fluid. Okay, because those tend to leak out rather quickly, and when it's time for you to use them, sometimes they're all dried up and can't light a flame. Okay, so even if you don't smoke, okay, carry a big lighter as part of your EDC, and teach your children how to use a lighter properly and use their lighter safely. It's up to you at what age do you think your children are mature enough or are responsible enough to handle fire and the creation of a fire using a disposable lighter. So one of the important things to note is that you should be carrying a big lighter with enough fuel. Okay, so how do we actually check if your lighter still has fuel? For me, this is the technique I use. I get my lighter, okay, and I get a flashlight. Okay, I set it at a really low brightness, okay, and I put the lighter on top of the flashlight, and I can see the level of the fluid inside the lighter. So I don't know if you can see it on camera. You can do that with almost all the colored big lighters. Okay, you can see even for the big ones. However, this technique doesn't work with black big lighters, because even if you shine a flashlight under the black big lighter, even if you increase the brightness, you cannot see inside, and you cannot see the fluid level inside the black big lighter. So I try to avoid buying black big lighters for outdoor use or for go bags or for emergency kits. I tend to use colored ones, especially the red and the orange big lighters. Okay, if I turn off the light, you can see the fluid level, okay, in this yellow BIC lighter. Okay, so same goes with this green one. This is actually nearly empty, and this orange one is still pretty full. However, for the black one, you can see even if I use a very bright light, you cannot see inside the body of the lighter, and you can't see the fluid level. I hope you found that technique useful. Alright, so for my go bags, I try to avoid these black ones. Another thing is that I think it's a force of habit. I hate putting things down on a surface, especially when I'm outside the house. What do I mean? If I use anything from my bag, whether it's a lighter or a pen, I put it back into my bag or clip it onto my shirt or to myself, and avoid putting things down, especially with what's going on in the world right now. So I think that's a pretty good strategy to take. Okay, so if you're outdoors using your lighter, you tend to put it down, especially after lighting a stove. If you light your stove and then you work on your stove, you have a tendency to put the lighter down on the ground. And once you put something on the ground, it has the tendency to get lost. It might get covered by the grass. You might accidentally step on it and it gets buried in the mud, or it gets wet and it's not usable anymore. So it's a good practice to not put things down, especially when you're outdoors, and especially for things that can get damaged when they are wet. Okay, so what do I do with my lighters, especially when I'm outdoors? Today, I'm gonna show you how to make your own DIY lighter holder. Okay, so for that, what we're gonna use is just our regular BIC inner tube. Some people call this Ranger bands. I just call them bicycle inner tubes. Okay, so you get your bicycle inner tube. You just need a small strip, and you need one of these. This is called an eyelet pliers. Okay, so I got this from Office Warehouse, 200 pesos, and it comes with 100 eyelets already. So it's pretty cheap. Okay, and if you have a split ring, maybe you can get this from an old keychain, or you can buy this online, and a small snap link or a carabiner. Let me turn the camera around so you can see what I'm actually doing as we make this lighter holder. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our bicycle inner tube. We're gonna measure a small strip. Okay, I usually end up just below the logo of the BIC lighter, okay, and extend about an inch or a little less beyond the base of the lighter, and that's where we cut it. Okay, so if the bicycle inner tube is not cut straight, you can try to trim it a little bit. Okay. So we end up with a small strip of bicycle inner tube. So we're done with that. We get our lighter, and now we're gonna try to insert the lighter into the inner tube. Okay, it does take some effort to do, okay, but it is not too difficult. Okay. So try working it side to side. Okay. Now we'll get our eyelet plier, okay, and just one eyelet. This is what an eyelet looks like. You get your eyelet plier, use the puncher end. Okay, just try to center it. Okay, this is the guide that makes a hole into the bicycle inner tube. So you can see the hole there. Alright, now we take our eyelet and push it into the two holes. Now the plier, the eyelet plier, this end will be the one that will crimp this side of the eyelet to seal it. Okay, so okay, so that's crimped. Now you get your split ring, and insert it into the eyelet. Now you actually have a keychain for your BIC lighter. Okay, if you have a snap link or a small carabiner, you can use that. Okay, and now you can clip this onto your belt, onto the zipper pull of your bag. Okay, and you never have to put down your BIC lighter, especially if you are outdoors. If you would see, this is actually pretty secure. Even if you pull quite hard on this lighter holder, it's not gonna pull out of the lighter. Okay, so this is the other one I made. This is actually what I carry with me all the time. Okay, so you can see how fast we can make a lighter holder, okay, for your EDC BIC lighter. Another advantage to this lighter holder is that it gives you a great grip on your lighter, especially if you're outdoors or your hands are wet. And in an emergency situation, you can actually use the rubber inner tube, okay, to help start your fire, because this rubber inner tube lights very easily and you can use that as emergency tinder. Okay, I hope you found that hack helpful. You can make your own DIY lighter holder, and you can keep it with your keys or with the rest of your EDC items. Okay, so you always have them with you, and there is less chance of you losing them by putting it on the ground and it getting lost or getting wet. So if you like the video, consider subscribing. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to put them in the comment section. And see you on the next video.